Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers. Today I'm actually looking at a journal from Jordan's Publishing Limited using the imprint of Family Law. It's this journal here called Child and Family Law Quarterly. That's the front cover, that's the back of it. This is actually a special issue, but you can see how it's structured inside. Very useful contents page, and then you go straight into things like a preface, various articles, very much the standard you get with nice footnotes at the bottom. Then you go from articles into a variety of other matters, including book reviews, which is at the end. And you've got actually on the back, you can see there, case commentaries as well to finish things off. And in fact, books reviewed is always useful because that tells you what's currently on the market. As I've said, this is a really excellent publication, and the reason I'm reviewing this particular journal is because it actually offers a number of things. I can't show you it actually on the internet, but there's an online service that's actually part of what it looks like. But in fact, the actual service itself, you have to get into it with passwords and everything else. Let me tell you what we think of the book anyway in this long review, and you've got some idea of the actual journal itself. I've used the word book because actually it becomes a book eventually when you get the 4 issues per quarter. But the actual quarterly reviews themselves are of specific importance to those practicing in the family area. We've given it a title, The Final Professional Word for the Practitioner in Family and Child Law. What I say is this: it's been 25 years since the Child and Family Law Quarterly first appeared, and in that time the journal has achieved preeminence as one of the leading authorities in family law, both within the United Kingdom and internationally, because the issues are, of course, so often of a global significance and application in today's society. The publication of this book is from Jordan Publishing Limited, based in Bristol, and they use their title Family Law, which is actually on the bottom. You can see it there, and many of you will be well aware of the Family Law imprint. As I say, it's familiar to many practitioners, and this particular journal is very much a specialist publication. There's a long list of editors which are included in the front inside cover, and again you'll know many of the names because in various capacities they are actually preeminent in their field. And the journal also includes eminent leading members in this area of substantive law in England and Wales and the United Kingdom, but it also has its own editorial board, and it has an international advisory board as well. So it gives you not just the local but the international, and you can see that from what is there on the inside front cover. The journal describes itself as multidisciplinary, covering all aspects of child and family law, and that's exactly what it offers. The purpose is to provide a top forum for the publication of high quality research material, intricate analysis and in-depth commentary, which will influence policy and promote debate, and it does just that. And to that end, the journal is highly relevant, not just for judges, barristers and solicitors, but I think for a much wider area of advisors, mediators and decision makers, from politicians upwards. The journal is available on the Social Science Research Network, that is the ISSN, so it's a social science publication as it's seen in a much wider academic context, and the Hein Online system that exists. Readers, of course, may not be aware of these services. The SSRN is devoted to the rapid worldwide dissemination of social science research, which, as I say, this is a part, and Hein Online is a premier online research product with more than 70 million pages of legal history, which is now available in an online fully searchable image-based format. and it is easy to use. And I don't say that without actually having tried it out. As I say, it's very difficult in this interview to show you exactly how the online system works. But what I would say is that you've got a huge amount of data there which is readily accessible to your fingertips, and anybody involved in, certainly in academic higher education, will be well aware of the facilities now available. The online service for us as practitioners is of particular relevance in today's savvy web user society, although we suspect that some will have initial difficulties with the navigation of the various sites, which you need to get used to. Again, I can't actually show those in this type of presentation, but you have these tabs coming down which will actually lead you to particular areas, but you have to practice at it. So what I'm saying is that the general advice these days is to practice using the site and all of its little sub areas. It's rather like getting to know your new handheld phone, if you like, and you'll get there with a good understanding of what the online systems offer actually quite quickly. Practice, of course, makes perfect. There is a word of warning. Don't expect too much, because we've all found that some practitioners may assume erroneously that the online side will offer you everything you may need for the court, and that's actually not the case. You will be forgetting both the judge, who may not use computers regularly, and of course the court system itself, which we all know, which is currently being reshaped in the legal aid for all post sort of era, which we are now actually facing. The Jordan's family law publications, including the online services, are now accepted, I think, by many as a brilliant step forward, because these facilities are becoming much more commonplace in chambers, in the courts, and for ADR, and obviously for mediators. The quarterly itself, this publication here, is actually 4 issues a year, of course, just to state the obvious, and it contains all the sections that you will find helpful. A preface or commentary section at the beginning, very pertinent current articles throughout, which will be at the forefront of current debate on family matters, important case commentaries, so you've got your current authorities, which of course again is very helpful to know exactly what's just happening in the courts, and an excellent book reviews section for those looking for what has just come out on the market, and the persuasive uses that can be made of them when advising clients and any others that one's talking to. Any publication in your own specialist area of law will always be welcome as an additional tool to give you the additional insight into matters crossing your desk, and the publication does just that. The value, I think, of Child and Family Law Quarterly lies in its depth, its currency, and that special blend of both its practical and the academic aspects, which give our professional advice just that extra bit of expertise to keep us at the top of our game. The Quarterly is a publication that you can't afford to ignore today, as the complexities of family law deepen with the necessary reforms which are taking place nationally and internationally, and you can't afford therefore to be without it. Let me just remind you, this is what it looks like again. I've rushed through what the contents are. We've got a preface, the main articles, case commentaries, book reviews, and then books received at the back. Let me just give you again the contents there, so you've got some feel for what's in it. That's a good example, for instance, of a very detailed article, and as you probably gather, this is just one of many journals available. It's very unusual for us really to do very many reviews of these journals, because I think most people will know what is actually on the market at the moment. But I thought that it would be useful for people to be aware of this publication in particular, and also Jordan's, who are offering not just the print version but also an online service as well, which frankly is the future, and once the courts begin to see that in a different way, we'll be presenting courses, and I think advocacy may well change as well, but that's for the future. Thank you to all concerned for producing this. I should give just a little mention to the people who are the editors. That's Gillian Douglas, mentioned on the front there, Jonathan Herring and Rebecca Probert. And of course a huge number of people, which you can see, who are actually all actually involved in one way or another with it. So thank you all for what is a very useful and actually essential tool for us in family law matters. Bye-bye.